Thanks for watching the video. My name's Clint from the Diehard MMA Podcast, and you can catch the replay of this entire video over on odds.com. Click the link below to go check it out, and let's make some cash. All right, man. Second fight of the night here. We've got Spike Carlyle, the Alpha Ginger, baby. One of my favorite fight names in the game, taking on Bill Algeo. Now, Spike Carlyle trains out of King's MMA. He's been working with Giga Chikadze, Dariush, guys like that. But realistically, this dude's a one-round fighter, right? He's one of these guys that comes out balls to the wall early. And if you can survive it, you have the chance to flip the tables on him. That's how he lost his last fight, is he couldn't keep that going for rounds 2 and 3. He transitions to the back extremely efficiently, I've noticed. He's always looking for that rear naked choke, and he's incredibly explosive, man. This guy's insanely athletic. Bill, on the other side, comes from the Dana White Contender Series, BJJ black belt. He's a little wild on the feet. He has a nice long jab that I like, and he does have like a heavy leg kick style attack that can help him keep a guy like Spike Carlyle at distance. He's a dude that rolls with the punches, which is something I like a lot. We've seen people get out of damaged spots if they're able to intelligently, roll that big power shot off of them. And he's got a really high output. My real problem with him is that he's so hittable. He's one of these guys that likes to get in there and mix it up. High output, but he drops his hands, and you can eat that return fire. That's not really the style you want against a guy like Spike Carlyle. And all of Bill's previous losses before he got to the UFC stage were against UFC caliber fighters, man. What do you got on this one?
Man, I remember breaking his fight down with Ricardo Lamas, and I hammered Ricardo Lamas that night, and it was way more of a sweat than I wanted it to be. Let's put it that way. So he did win some respect for me in that fight, but the one thing that rubbed me wrong the most about him was he just made it to the UFC, and he changes his bio on the IG to UFC contender. And I'm like, dude, you haven't even had one fight in the UFC yet. What do you mean contender? If you beat Ricardo Lamas, sure, you're a contender. But all right, I get it. You want to get some of these UFC groupies just to be like, oh, he's a contender. Yay, that's great. But what Bill Algeo with his style, you're right. You hit the nail on the head, man. Like, his striking defense leaves a lot to be desired. Spike Carlyle has already fought somebody that his size. He knocked out Alan Cruz with he started that knockout process with the head kick. More often than not, you don't really see the shorter guy landing such a clean head kick on, potentially the better striker, especially with the range that Alan Cruz had there. So that was very impressive. And then obviously he follows it up, lands some beautiful elbow in the clinch to eventually drop Alan Cruz and then finish him that way. Last time around, Billy Quarantillo, he put up way better of a fight than a lot of people were expecting him to. I bet the under 2.5 in that fight. I'm sure you saw my tweet from earlier this week where I was like, where's the finish? Where's the finish? Give me a goddamn finish. And they don't give us a finish, right? So, but they're still going from it from bell to bell. I think the explosiveness and the power and the strength even alone of Spike Carlyle could get him a win here against Bill Algeo. Either he knocks him out, or if this fight gets later into the fights, people want to shit on his cardio and all that. But it seemed like he still had that extra gear to like even just push up Billy Quarantillo up against the cage, or even take him down, whatever it is. Here against Billy Algeo, I think he's going to have to like push him up against the cage if this fight gets later into the rounds. And that's where we've seen Algeo kind of take a step back, where Ricardo Lamas, he had that extra gear to continuously control the fight on the ground when it got into that third round. Personally, I think Spike gets it done early. I think he gets it done in round 1 or 2. I think he lands perfectly on Algeo, drops him, and follows up with a bunch of shots. The guy has some ridiculous power. That's my main thing here. With Bill Algeo, it's just, man, I don't know. I don't see him surviving that onslaught from Spike Carlyle. And I'm not normally with the guy that just has that like quick one path to victory, which is the first round or the second round. But I think Spike has that power, has that explosiveness. I think before Bill even realizes it, Spike's going to be in his face, landing a huge bomb, and that might be all it writes, or all she wrote. But you see some love coming in for Spike now. I think he's roughly around -145, -155. We got him at -165 now. People are seeing it.
It's -170 now.
-170. Good God. I would probably hit Spike inside the distance, to be honest. I think that would be my play. I think the under 2.5 is currently at +100, which is an interesting spot as well. Because if Spike does get too tired and he's not able to pull Bill up against the cage or push Bill up against the cage, maybe Bill actually, manages to string together a submission or something like that. But personally, I think Spike's going to be too much for him. Too strong, too fast, too athletic, and too much power. And that's all it's going to be. I love the Alpha Ginger here. As crazy and maniacal as that guy is, I think he gets it. I think he pulls it off here. And also shout out to Mark Munoz. If anybody remember, Mark Munoz was in his corner. You can barely remember him with like those extra 100 pounds on him. But our guy Mark Munoz actually corners him as well. But yeah, I do like Spike Carlyle to get the finish here.
Yeah, man, that's the side that I was leaning on. But again, talking sports betting here, I freaking hate the line. We've got Spike at -170 now, +140 comeback on Bill Algeo, and Bill is going to have the the height, the reach advantage, and like we talked about, if Spike, someone asked earlier in the chat, yes, Spike is the guy that got up and walked back to his corner with 5 seconds left on the clock for no freaking reason, and almost may well have given away his best round of the fight because he let his opponent drop him with a giant bomb at the bell. Like, that's the kind of guy that I just don't know if I want to trust at -170. You talked about it, the under 2.5, that might be a way to look on this fight, just in case if he does gas out, his opponent has that volume, has that jiu-jitsu, there's a chance he could end up finishing Spike late. I don't know if that's totally possible because Spike is durable as hell, but it's a chance. It helps that under 2.5 get there.
My issue is if Quarantillo couldn't finish him late, I don't see Algeo finishing him late. Quarantillo is like the master of getting beat on for 2 rounds and then finishing somebody in the third. So if Quarantillo is not able to get him out there, and he had some really tight and close submission opportunities, but Spike just powered through that crap and was able to well, he did end up losing the fight, but still made it to the 15-minute mark.
For sure, man. And that's where this is such a problem for me, because I want to take Spike, but I don't want to parlay him at 170. I don't know if I want to lay that much chalk on him on 170, and I'm not sure if he does end up getting the finish. He probably does, but if he doesn't, I don't want to take him inside the distance and then sit here with another L on my record because I didn't just lay the damn wood. Like, you know what I mean? So bad spot on this first fight here, in my opinion. I'm probably going to end up passing. The pick is Spike Carlyle. Seems like we're in agreement there, but not sure if I'm going to get to the betting window on this one in particular.